Iso was very hesitant, but did not expect the investor agreed. Very quickly, this news became hot, thus attracting many other investors to call. 3 people could not answer the phone. On the first day, they received more than 10 billion won in investment. The number of people registering to open a shop has reached more than 50 people. They immediately opened a representative office, both doing business and franchising training. In the evening, when the group returned, they suddenly saw an injured old lady. The group rushed her to the hospital for treatment. Unexpectedly, this was Tony's grandmother. Tony showed him a photo of the missing father, who turned out to be her son. She cried and said loudly that his father had passed away in a traffic accident many years ago. Tony tearfully received his grandmother back. The next day, the food competition came to the second round. The restaurants were frantically cooking on the program. Hyungyi cooked the restaurant's signature soft tofu soup, and Jungga cooked fermented soybeans. Junsu ate both dishes, so he knew Jungga would lose, as expected. Danbam continued to win the contest. Everyone in Seri's group couldn't hide their joy, while Sua's group was very depressed. After the competition, Seri invited the 2 of them to eat. Sua took Seri's arm and walked first. Lee So was upset and came up to interrupt the 2 people. Everyone had so much fun drinking for a while that they wanted to play the truth game. Lee So was unlucky enough to be the opening act. Gonsu asked if he won. Jungga, would she love him, because she promised Lee So had to agree to this. The next unlucky person was Seri. Sungkwan asked Seri and Sua what their relationship was. Unexpectedly, Seri said he liked her. The answer hurt Lee So's heart. Gonsu suddenly asked, "What do you consider Lee So to be?" Sadly, the answer is a younger sister. Hearing this, Lee So couldn't help but cry. She sacrificed everything for him, and now feels bitter because so embarrassed. Lee So quickly stood up and left under Hyunyi's urging. Seroi quickly stood up and chased Lee So. Lee So was hurt and couldn't hide her heart anymore. With tears in her eyes, she kept saying, "I love you more than anything in the world. In the past 2 years, I have given up everything to bet on you, including dropping out of college or leaving my mother at home, thinking Seroi was easy to touch and accepted love." Lee So unexpectedly only received a harsh rejection, both heartbroken and humiliated. In the end, Lee So left in the cold, snowy winter, the person she promised to protect with her whole life. Now he's cruel to her again. Lee So is in extreme pain, sitting in the middle of the street, crying and can't stop, returning to Jongga Company. The president was very angry because they lost 2 rounds of cooking competition in a row. He ordered that if they lost in the final round, Gensu would definitely never have the right to inherit. Listen to this sentence. Gensu immediately asked his father to give him the program. He affirmed that he would win the final round. After the contest, Danbam was gone. It was more crowded than before, but Lee Seo decided to take a break for a while so that Seroi could clearly understand what true feelings are. Knowing that Lee Seo quit her job, Gensu quickly informed his father. President Gen realized this was a golden opportunity. Indeed, the next morning when Seroi came to the office, there was no one. All left investors simultaneously texted to withdraw capital. This caused the entire Seroi group to fall into crisis. At least they spent more than 1 billion won on the recent campaign. It turned out that the other investor was Chairman Jang. Installed to trick Danbam, 50 stores all came to Danbam to demand compensation. They were extremely angry with Seroi because everyone lost money to open a restaurant. Su-ah followed the president's order to bring a vase of flowers. Above was a message congratulating Seroi. Returns to the golden stream. Reading this sentence made Seroi angrily shout. He said that you can cancel the contract if you want. I will have enough money to compensate everyone, but the most important business is trust. So you, trust. Please continue to support according to the schedule. The words certainly appeased the store owners. Where the money will come from to continue, Seroi does not know. Su-ah advised Seroi to run away and living happily with her. While Seroi wanted to give up, she encouraged him and promised to fight with Seroi to the end. As expected, she regained Seroi's spirit. The next day, Yiso returned back to work. The important thing right now is to find a new investor. According to the list, they saw a 70-year-old real estate tycoon. Surprisingly, that was Tony's grandmother. She was even an enemy. The godmother helped President Jang develop. The old lady then went to Danbam with Director Kang. She asked if he needed any help. Unexpectedly, Seroy was stubborn and did not want to open his mouth to ask for her help. The grandmother was angry and scolded that you for having too much pride and not knowing how to humble yourself. She said you would fail because of that stubbornness. Then she angrily stood up and left. Director Kang was disappointed with Seroy, so he also left. In the evening, he looked back at the staff, who were hard work day and night. Seroy understood that they were suffering because of his high pride. Thinking of this, he decided to call Tony to make an appointment to meet his grandmother. Tony informed her that she had arrived on Jeju Island. Seroy immediately called Yiso. Unexpectedly, the grandmother next to her grabbed the phone and started talking. She kept exclaiming that Seroy was an idiot. Seroy asked her to invest, but she made a condition that they must win the final of the best restaurant contest. Seroy promised he would definitely win this final round. But life is not like a dream. Gunsu here also wants to win the contest to become the heir. He knows Danbam won the previous 2 rounds thanks to Chef Hyuni. So suddenly, a dirty plan came up in his heart. Junsu discussed with Suah that they would announce that Chef Hyuni is transgender. The next day, Seroy along with Chef Hyuni to the competition. Indeed, the news of Hyuni's transgender was all over the internet. Sung Kwan quickly showed this news to the 2 people. Everyone in the studio was talking about this, making Hyuni feel offended. So she turned around and left. Of course, Junsu was the one who bribed the journalist to publish this article. Suah was surprised to see Junsu not ignore any trick. On this side, Hyunyi ran into the women's restroom, but was chased away. Then, Seroy found her back in the men's restroom. He confided from the bottom of his heart, "If you give up, everyone will trample on you even more. You have to win the contest to win the hatred in everyone's hearts." Listening this word, Hyunyi has regained her confidence. Inside the studio thought, Hyunyi gave up. Junsu asked the program to start without Danbam participating. But suddenly, Hyunyi opened the door and walked in with a very confident look. Junsu started to feel dizzy. The program still continued filming with Hyunyi's return. Living up to everyone's expectations, she created the ultimate dish. Everyone was anxiously waiting for the results. The judges declared Hyunyi the final winner. An indescribable surge of happiness. Hyunyi's spectacular return helped Danbam win. Strangely, President Jang knew his son was playing tricks on Hyunyi, but did not scold him, but praised the son knows to use tricks. Just a bigger ambition is enough to inherit. At this moment, Yiso came to the company and hit Junsu. She hoped he would regain consciousness. But Junsu had now truly become evil. As long as he could win Jungga to love her, he was willing to do anything. Yiso also was helpless against this jerk. She ran back to meet Seroy. It was true that only Seroy could bring her happiness. Because they won the contest, they went to meet the grandmother to sign an investment contract. This time, Seroy is also very determined. He wants to develop the restaurant to reach the whole world, not just in Korea. The news that Danbam received an investment of 30 billion won flooded the internet, making Junsu sad. He asked, how did Suah make Seroy collapse? In his heart now, there is only one thing to harm Seroy. His father also realized this, so he agreed to let him attend the leadership meeting. He directly announced to everyone that Junsu would be the heir to Jungga. Junsu, thanks to his disciples, despicable tricks was quickly had high appreciate. The news of Gunsu's inheritance in the newspaper made his brother in prison restless. He frantically practicing to one day return. Time has passed 4 years. Seroy's IC company has grown extremely strong, and Yiso has also become extremely beautiful. Seroy is now the general director of dozens of small companies. During the meeting, the leaders presented many problems that needed to be solved. Unexpectedly, Yiso used his intelligence in just a few words to help the other directors agree. Gunsu also returned after 4 years of studying abroad. He confidently stood in front of the board of directors to present his plan. He said he would buy a cheap road and upgrade it like Itaewon, push up the land price, and then sell it all to get rid of the goods. This deal is expected to earn at least a few hundred billion. The chairman immediately agreed after hearing it. This showed that Junsu had a very strategic vision. Mr. Zhang appointed him to destroy Seiroi's corporation and then inherit. At this time, his eldest son, Junwan, was also released from prison. But Chairman Zhang's condition is very bad at this time. He often gets dizzy and faints.